Hello, hello.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you, Nadine?
Good morning. So I was just smiling because this is getting later and later that we're live, and that's not because we're meeting later, but because we have such good conversations before.
I know I was almost thinking we should have done that conversation live because we were talking all about standards and expectations and misunderstandings. And that's so
Yes,
important,
yes.
But we'll have
And
that.
how it's on the one hand, it can be difficult to release the expectations, but on the other hand, it can be so healing. And yeah, it's worth everything. But yeah, the let go process,
Mm.
it's a let go process to let go.
And I actually prefer that you've just said that. I've had an aha moment. Let go rather than lowering your expectations. I don't sit well with lowering my expectations. So releasing is a much better term to use than lower. For me, that's just
Yeah,
my.
and you brought up the term to just have standards. So don't lower your standard, like have standards. Don't release your standards, but release the expectations. Okay, that's a huge difference, and it took us a while to understand the difference. But it's really about the emotional attachment to these standards.
Mm.
So if one way that you expected will work won't work, so there is another way to meet your standards.
Correct, correct. And having an open mind by looking at it from the different perspectives. And that's using your higher faculty of perception, right?
Absolutely. Oh, is
Mm.
that beautiful?
Here we go. Let's talk about standards, expectations, and release. But
There we go. And the title of today's section is like we are in the chapter of the magic box. So today is the magic word. And for everyone listening here, I can also very much recommend to listening to Florence Scovel-Shinn's The Magic Word ebook. It's on YouTube available because there is so much in words. And word has their energies and
no,
I wasn't even realizing how much energy is in every word. So
yeah. Well,
I'll
I
watch
want to thank
time.
you for recommending that book to me because that has opened my mind to, and that's probably another book we can read on here, is because she really does. And I look at it and I always say to you, will you hold that space for me? Because it helps that there's someone else in that energy to hold that space for you. So thank you, Nadine, for recommending that book.
You're welcome.
Let's read our gorgeous book today. So, am I on page 69? Isn't it perfectly obvious? Am I there?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, so I'll carry on. Isn't it perfectly obvious, therefore, that the way out of impoverished conditions is through a change in consciousness? In fact, it is the only way you can change anything in your life. Consciousness. Let's remind everybody it's about your thoughts, you're being conscious of those thoughts. If you tell me that you are out of things or that you have a small salary, I say, look at your consciousness. Put things right there. Find the offending thought or belief and reverse it. Change your thought out of it and keep it changed into something better.
Let me shortly interrupt you because that is standards too. Like look into your consciousness, put things right there. So if you accept to be paid a low salary, or if you accept the fact to have, do a work that is a low standard, if you accept any of that, so that's where it's not like, oh, there's nothing I can do. Like, what is it that you can do there? What is the different? What do you expect, and how do you, not what is your standard, and how do you get there?
Mm.
So that is where you put things right.
So true. That's a great way of looking at it. Thank you. So put things right there. Find the offending thought. I've read that. Change your thought out of it and keep it changed into something better. And that's, Nadine, I've really looked at what are you thinking? And you catch yourself. And the more you start catching yourself, the more you realize, well, how many of those thoughts am I having that's in lack or negative or going back to the past? And change your energy, change that thought into, no, that's not what I want to think. I want to think prosperity. I want to think abundance. And look at the better aspect of that. So speak the word with conviction and acceptance. Put into what you expect to take out of it. Stay your mind upon it until it takes form. What do we mean by the word? We mean a clear-cut, definitely formulated thought. The word is creative. As Emmett Fox says, as the strongest and most creative word is I am. Whenever you say I am, you are calling upon the universe to do something for you, and it will do it. Whenever you say I am, you are drawing a check upon the universe. It will be honored and cashed sooner or later, and the proceeds will go to you. If you say I am tired, I am sick, I am poor, I am fed up, I am disappointed, I am getting old, then you are drawing your checks for future trouble and limitation. When you say, I am divine, I am life, I am divine truth, I am divine freedom, I am divine substance, I am eternal substance, you are drawing a check on the bank of heaven. And surely that check will be honored with health and plenty to you. Oh, I just love that.
And that's just so fits about this standards conversation, so just really put your standards there, put your thoughts there, do thinking into results. That way we start with the results, because that's the standard. And everything else has to match up to our results and not the other way around.
So true. So true. So absolutely looking at the results and thinking, why are those results there? Well, it's because of what I'm thinking. So if we want to change those results, we got to change our thinking. I am divine. I really like that. I think we need to read that again at some point or listen to it again. So remember, you don't have to use the actual grammatical form I am every time you associate yourself in thought with anything or think of yourself as having anything. You are using a form of I am. The verb to have is a part of the verb to be. In the very ancient language, there is no verb to have. It is a modern improvement, like the radio or the automobile. I have means I am, because you always have what you are and you always do what you are. So beautiful. Apply this principle to the affirmation, I am prosperity, and you will see how wealth comes out in your affairs. Whatever you believe becomes, whatever you think expresses. You build your consciousness with I am by the things you think and do all day long. As a man thinketh in his I am, so are his circumstances. Do you grasp that principle? You who are looking for a better job, for more income, greater freedom, if you do, the circumstances in your life will have to change. Did you ever stop to consider why it is that a man who has made a fortune and lost it can make another one faster than the man who never had one? It is because his consciousness is greased in that direction. Do you know why many businesses disintegrate and fall apart when their founders die? It is because the supporting consciousness has been taken away. That is gorgeous.
Yes. So, what is your standard? What are you going to put your mind on and then raise to those standards? And Miriam is also writing here, raise the standards. You always have what you are. That's great. Yes.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for the comments. Wow.
Yes. Good. So you too can be prosperous, because you can just implement this. And every Friday we're reading. So check out this channel for more the next section next week. And yeah, just
Thank you.
be prosperous. Put your standards there.
So this last week of January, I challenge you, just think to prosperity, think abundance as much as you possibly can. Live it, breathe it, taste it, feel it. It just has to be you. I am prosperity. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. See you next week.
Bye-bye.